Good evening. The time is 5:30, May 6, 2024. Call the meeting to order. Excuse me. Our first item on the agenda is to conduct a public hearing to request to rezone the property located at 424 Eloise, also known as Lot 14, Civilito subdivision to R5, second multifamily dwelling district, currently zoned R2, second single-family dwelling district. So we're going to open the meeting and away we go.
So this property has two residential dwellings on it, and it has since before it was annexed 40 years ago. The new property owner came to pull permits to remodel and bring them up to code, but I could only give permits for one because it's zoned R1. So they want to bring it into compliance for what it's actually being used for. And if you look on the zoning map, well, Ms. Tracy is here to speak on it. Come up to it, yes, please.
Hello there. Hi. So this is an interesting.
Would you state your name?
Property. My name is Tracy Poteet. Remodeling, I had no idea that it was not in any kind of compliance. I'm a realtor with RE/MAX Security Real Estate, and it is not my common practice to check the zoning of a property when I buy it or sell it or help somebody buy it or sell it. So it didn't even cross my mind until Carrie brought it up to me when we pulled the permits. Like she said, apparently it's been being used as two residences for quite some time, and it's in very bad condition. It was in very bad condition. We have been doing the work on it, but it can only be for one family, and the best we can hope for is that it's a multi-generational family that wants to buy it to live in it. So what we would like to do is make it compliant with what it already is, which is two-family dwelling, essentially, is what it has been for a long time. You're welcome. Any questions? Oh, okay.
Okay. Moving along, we're going to conduct a public hearing to consider a request to replat property previously platted located at 405 and 421 Sanctuary Road, also known as lots 5R and 6R, the sanctuary at Rockport being 15.282 acres, City of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas. Excuse me.
Hello, Elizabeth Brundrett. I'm here speaking in favor of this replat. The reason why it's being brought to you guys is because this is a previously platted subdivision, and so it needs to go out for a public hearing, but it meets the zoning requirements, and the purpose of the replat initially was this property owner wanted to have a little bit more space between where his house was and the property line, and now he's going to sell that lot 6R to or 6RR to someone, and so he's giving them some space in the back where it opens up so that that's where they can build. If you have any questions, I will be here.
Very good. If we have nothing else in the public hearing department, we'll close the public hearing at 5:34 and move on to our regular agenda. Excuse me. Deliberate and act on approval of the regular meeting minutes of March 18th, 2024. Any comments, suggestions, or problems? No?
I'll motion to accept.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have seconds. All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, nay? Okay. Deliberate and act on a request to rezone the property located at 424 Eloise, also known as Lot 14, Civilito subdivision to R5, second multifamily dwelling district, currently zoned R2, second single-family dwelling district. Adjournment. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna cross that off.
I saw it, it was already posted, I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, so, as Ms. Tracy said, this has been a two-dwelling property for many, many years, and we're just trying to get it in compliance with what it's being used for. If you look at your zoning map, directly behind the property across Mockingbird Lane, that whole piece is R5. Excuse me. And over on James Street and Church, all of that is R5. So, I mean, it's in the area. Even if they sold this and somebody tore those down and wanted to build something, the square footage will only allow 2 dwellings. So they can't come in and build apartments or anything on it, so.
Is there a reason that you chose rezoning instead of a conditional use permit? This kind of looks like
Because I'm
spot
trying to get
zoning.
away from the cups.
Okay.
It really wouldn't, it's not what a cup does. In the allowed uses of the cups, that's not one of the allowed uses.
It just looks like spot zoning.
Well, I say that about the R5 all over the place, that's why I don't believe it is spot zoning. The whole block behind it and over there. And again, if they sold it and whoever buys it chooses to tear those 2 homes down, the square footage of the lot would only allow 2 dwellings anyway.
And there haven't been any comments, I guess.
No, ma'am, we've had no calls, we had one call just asking what it was about, and they said, okay, but no objections or anything like that.
Anybody else have any questions? I mean, to me, it seems pretty cut and dry that take care of they're trying to upgrade the property, so that's a good thing.
They are cleaning it up and doing some nice work, bringing it up to code.
Good.
The infrastructure is already there, it's being brought up to code, it's, again, it's existing, it's almost like a grandfather type deal.
Right, yeah.
It was considered legal non-conforming, but you can't modify a legal non-conforming. So them tearing out cabinets and putting new cabinets and all that constitutes changing it, so they had to do something.
All right, do we have a motion from anyone here?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve from Warren.
I'll second.
We have a second. Single second. Any further discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, nay?
Nay.
Okay,
Sorry.
it's okay. Moving along to agenda item 6, deliberate and act on a request to replat property previously platted located at 405 and 421 Sanctuary Road, also known as lots 5R and 6R, the sanctuary at Rockport being 15.282 acres, city of Rockport, Aransas County, Texas.
I do have the large plat over here if anyone wants to see it, if you can't tell what you want to know from the small copy. The replat meets the requirements of the platting ordinance. The frontages meet the requirements. Staff recommends approval.
Okay. Nobody has commented.
No, ma'am, no phone calls, no objections.
Lots of notices
I
to
take it
people.
back, there was one phone call. They just wanted me to explain what they were doing. He was fine with it.
Have a motion to approve or disapprove. I don't know why we would. Seems pretty simple to me.
And the only reason it's coming before you is because it was a previously platted lot.
Okay.
Bless you.
Well, I'll move to approve.
Second.
We have a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? Nay? Okay. Presentation and discussion regarding current development. Thank you, ladies.
My presentation. My clicker. So I want to try to give you guys, a report on what's going on in the city as often as I can. How do I do this? And do I click at the screen? Okay. So the first group is development inside city limits over the past couple of years. So this is the Kokomo subdivision, Phase 4, recently had their infrastructure accepted and their final plat filed. There's no building permits there yet, but that consists of 114 residential lots. Phase 3 consists of 41 residential lots. The final plat was recorded in March of '23, and then the process of building out with 11 single-family dwellings completed. Phase 2 consists of 28 residential lots. Their infrastructure and final plat were accepted and the final plat filed on June 30th of '22. They're in the process of build out with 16 single-family dwellings completed. Now, Phase 1 was originally 3 commercial lots, and it was replatted to 6 lots. One of those is for a pond for the drainage, but the other 5 are commercial lots. And right now, we have a 7-Eleven store that wants to go in on that corner lot. Address will be 3588 South Highway 35 bypass. Their plans have been approved for construction, but they haven't chosen a contractor yet, so we're waiting on that for their permitting. Next is Pearl Street Square at 1802 FM 2165. On 2165, you got the big concrete ditch right across Memorial Park. It's adjacent to that. It is 37 single-family lots. The two lots that front 2165 are zoned R7. They still have their lift station plans under review. And then we have Fulton Shores on 417 South Fulton Beach Road. It's a 57-lot single-family subdivision. The final plat was revised on 12/28, and it'll expire in 2025 if they don't do something. Nothing's going on with it right now. And it'll revert back to the original plat. Heritage Park on FM 3036, I think you all seen that going up there at 3036 and 1781. That is a 106-lot subdivision. The infrastructure was accepted on January 5th of '24, and they've permitted 5 single-family dwellings in Phase 1. Phase 2 has not been completed yet. Now, Lakeway Estates, that's right on the corner of 35 Bypass and FM 2165. It's a 431 single-family lots with 3 commercial lots. The conceptual plan was approved in September of '23, but there's nothing else has been submitted at this time. Currently, we have the proposed condominium complex on Water Street. That's at 703 South Water. The Civil has one more correction to make, and then it will be approved. The actual structure is under review, and they've got a few things they need to do for their fire suppression systems, but they will be permitting probably in the next 2 months. It's a 4-story condominium complex with 11 condos. The first 3 floors have three bedrooms, 2 baths. The top 2 are the penthouses. And they're very, very elegant. I believe those are priced at 1.5 million each.
Where on Water Street?
703 Water, on the corner of Water and, oh my gosh, what is that corner?
If it's 703, it's pretty close to Market Street, right?
No, yeah, actually, kind of. Should be a map in here, hold on.
And then next to, what is it, hotel there?
Hunt's
I didn't put
Court?
Hunt's Court, I think it's next to that, if I remember right.
No, it's not next to Hunt's Court,
No.
it's further down.
Laguna,
Sign a couple
Laguna
times, I
Reef?
thought it was mine.
Hmm?
Laguna Reef?
Nope,
No, that's
is it Morgan?
Morgan.
I'm sorry.
Oh, isn't it
I'm
right
blank.
across from the other condos, the ones that look like other old Victorian home condos, the blue ones?
It's close to that.
It's right across the road from that, on
It's-
Water Street.
I think,
Oh,
I think it's
okay.
close to that.
Sorensen Place.
Sorensen Place, maybe. Gosh darn it. I should have done the map on that one.
Well, there's
Sorry.
there's King Street, there's James Street, Murray Street, and no, Hackberry doesn't go through.
What's the height on that 4-story? Is that the maximum?
That's the maximum they can
That
go.
is the maximum, is
Yeah,
that
45.
45 feet? Okay.
And the square footage of the property, they can only do 11 condos. They initially started out doing 12. So you don't have the square footage.
And they have parking in the,
Parking in
Back?
the rear, and they're also looking at purchasing, I think, a lot behind them somewhere, maybe for boat parking, because right now they're not gonna allow it.
well,
It's very elegant.
that's what the boat motel down the street at Cove Harbor's for, I guess.
That's right, go park. And go get it, because that's where you're gonna put in anyway, so.
Yeah,
And last but not least, we have East Linden Duplex Edition. They're, go back to my list. Sorry.
Map shows this at East Bay
Well, they've got some work to do.
on Water Street condos, does that sound right?
Bay,
Bay,
yes,
yeah.
yes, thank you. Where are my, there you go. So the infrastructure's under review, and they're showing 6 buildings, each with a duplex. But they've got to rezone the property to R3 and replat it, because it's 8 lots. But the engineer was told by the owner that that was all done. And I had to inform them this past week that it was not. So it will be coming before you for a rezone. And it's got other areas, like it's right by the little cottages next to Tiger Field.
mm-hmm,
It's on that corner of Live Oak and Linden, right across from the
Gotcha.
multifamily apartments.
Oh,
in
okay,
the catty
okay.
corner. And they're arranging it to save, there's some really nice trees in there, and I give the owner kudos, because she's arranging it so to save those big trees
nice.
to build around them. Now, they are gonna take Church Street through on their west side,
Mm-hmm.
and there's trees in there, but none of the big trees are in the paved area, so they're gonna save those too.
Good.
Yeah. Every time you cut a tree, my heart goes.
So that one may be more of affordable housing, hopefully, maybe,
Let's hope.
or attainable
Yeah.
housing.
I believe, they haven't told me, but I believe they're going to be rentals. I don't believe they're going to have an HOA and sell them,
Okay,
so that would be nice.
okay.
So growth residential outside city limits, but using our utilities. We have Ocean Reef subdivision. It's out there on Highway 35 South.
Mhm.
Did the aerial help you locate them? Did that help at all? Yeah? Okay, good. It's, everything's filed. It's an 82 single-family dwellings completed and 4 under construction, so they're about 90% complete. And then Lucas Ranch, that's out there by Cape Valero. Right now, it's got 98 single-family lots. The lift station, we're waiting on the power on the lift station to run all the tests. The water's infrastructure's been approved, and once the lift station and the sewer is approved, then they'll file their final plat and start building. That will probably happen within the next 2 weeks. It's really nice the way he laid out his ponds. They're gonna use them, you know, for attractions. They're gonna put fish in them, and you can see the bay, it's right over there. So that's gonna be a nice subdivision. Then we have Estes Point PUD. It was originally La Buena Vida Phase 2, but they've changed the name to Maria subdivision. The infrastructure plans have been submitted and they're under review. And I didn't put in there how many lots. Let's see, 67 single-family dwelling lots. That's really nice because they've got access to the intercoastal right there. There'll be docks for their boats, things like that. It'll be nice. But that's right at where 188 comes into 35, just south of Isles of Rockport. And then out on Rattlesnake Point Road, we've got the duplexes, the Silverleaf duplexes. That's, there's 20 duplexes with 40 units, 20 buildings, 40 duplexes. And that's been completed and is occupied. And I believe that's a 55 and over.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And then also on Rattlesnake Point Road down at the end, we've got the Costa Palms Resort, which is 55 and over, and the Pura Vida Palms, excuse me. That's a 1,118 lot manufactured home park. They are currently moving in manufactured homes. They've got permits, correct me if I'm wrong, for 2 clubhouses. Clubhouses are being built. Now, we don't get to inspect the structures because it's in the county, but they do have to pull plumbing permits, so we are inspecting all of the water and sewer lines. But they are doing the things they said they were going to do. You know, when you see one like that, you always worry that, you know, are they really going to do that? And they are, so that's good. And last but not least, we have Isles of Rockport. Now, of course, that was done, oh my gosh, Mike, help me, back in 2013?
2013, 2014.
Yes. They ran a force main all the way out to them with a lift station so that they would have city sewer. It's 227 single-family dwelling lots with 1 lot for future hotel, motel, commercial development. It's very big, the yellow one, that's the hotel, motel, commercial lot. They've got 2 clubhouses which are permitted. I think one of them is complete, aren't they? I think so. Yes. And then, of course, with pools, and then a private marina with access to the intercoastal canal. And I meant to put on here how many they had permitted, and I didn't. Phase 1 is almost built out. Phase 2 is about halfway. And I think they just started permitting phase 3. Yes, so it's building, it's going. And that's all. Now, the next time I come, I want to do, well, and that's the biggest part. There's a few small ones that have been there for years and years, and I didn't think you wanted, because this is actually what's the newest. The next report I will do for commercial. Okay. What's going on for commercial. And there's quite a bit of that as well. Do you have any questions?
It's just amazing.
They're keeping my inspectors busy.
I bet.
Growing up.
I had heard, and I don't think this makes any difference, but that 1,100 mobile home
Park?
Yeah. They'll sell you the mobile home, but you don't own the land.
Correct. They bring the, don't say mobile home, that's old.
Yeah,
They manufacture homes in, They set them up, they do the plumbing, they do the ACs, just like when they build a new house and you go and look and you buy the house. So you buy the home, but you pay a lot fee for the lot.
The leasehold.
Yes, and they have, they maintain all the grounds, you don't have to mow your grass, you don't have to do any of that. And they are holding to the 55 and older section. So I'm glad to see that. You'll have the 55 and over, and then the families over here, and they don't mingle them. I don't know, they probably do, but.
So they're only gonna sell them to young people. Wow.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, it's turning out nice. We'll see.
Is there gonna be grass to mow out there?
They're supposed to be.
It doesn't look like it.
Well, and I'm wondering what type of grass they're gonna use, because that's a salt flat.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know, of course, my daughter lives on Rattlesnake Point Road, and she tried to put in carpet grass, which went like that, because there's too much salt. But then she seeded it with, the little tall little grasses. Dang it, I had it
Bermuda?
right there. Bermuda,
Mhm.
and it's going crazy. So,
that stuff will grow anyway.
yeah, so they'll probably seed it with Bermuda.
And these have to be staked down and everything else.
It has to meet all the codes, yes, can't be, and they're all brand new. They got contracts with 2 different manufactured home companies out of Corpus, and they are bringing them in and doing all the setup and the tie downs, and then they're actually selling them. I don't believe the developers are actually selling them. Is that correct?
I think so.
Unless the, Mr. Holligan is buying them, I don't think he's doing that, though. Yeah. So it's, I mean, my daughter lives there, and she goes, there goes another manufactured home.
So no permits.
From us.
Who's overseeing windstorm?
They're windstorm rated. They come windstorm rated. It's a
Yes.
prefab manufactured home. When it's all together and everything else is strapped down, it meets windstorm requirements.
You know, you can't get a WPI 8 on a manufactured home. Windstorm doesn't do that, but they do still have to meet all the requirements for windstorm. And they have an inspector that checks them. So the way they're built, they have to be wind rated, and then the tie downs, the way they're tied down.
So
And-
are there windows?
They have to have
Wow.
the storm windows, the new manufactured homes are nice.
Yeah,
They really are. I lived in one in the 70s. And good heavens, if somebody got up from the kitchen table and went to the sink, you knew it in the back bedroom,
right.
you know? But they're built a lot better than that now. I was impressed, anyway.
I heard they're only, when you sign, you get a 2-year, guarantee on the rent only.
Mhm. And I
which-
think you get a warranty on the home itself, but I think it's a year. Just like if you bought it and put it on your property.
Huh.
So,
Any idea what they're selling those for?
I was told between 140 and 180. Does that sound right?
Sounds about right.
Which in today's market is
Is-
very affordable.
Yeah,
So,
except that you don't really own it. I mean, I guess you own it, but you don't.
yeah, you own the home,
Yeah,
but you don't own the land.
If you ever decide to quit renting, you gotta move it.
You gotta
Yeah.
pull it out, yeah. Which people do
yeah,
all the time.
yeah.
I heard the lot rentals, like, right now, they're like $450 a month.
Yeah, it was
But like you
between
say, that includes some,
all the amenities,
Amenities.
the clubhouse, the
Yes.
pools. I think they're doing a pickleball court. They talked about it. I haven't seen that yet. But yeah, and
But they-
all the maintenance, the property maintenance.
They don't have an HOA.
No, Mr. Holligan still owns it all. So I'm sure at some point they will.
Interesting. It's
And
a-
of course, I won't see it if they do, because it's in the county.
Yeah,
so this Fulton Shores,
Yes.
we approved that
Long time
time ago,
2 years ago.
a long time ago.
Mhm.
And then,
Well,
If it doesn't have any activity, it goes away.
yeah, it stops, it
Yeah.
reverts back.
As far as I know, there is no activity from the previous developer. I don't know whether they, originally they brought it in, and I don't remember how many units they were trying to squeeze onto the small lot and everything else. And we showed them what they had to take out to make the roads accessible and things like that. So they went and had to reduce their footprint. And I think when they reduced their footprint, they reduced the amount of money that they were gonna make. So they were gonna reevaluate, and we haven't heard from them since.
so the revision didn't come to,
No, it wasn't, they didn't revise the plat, it had to do with the road. So they didn't change anything on the plat.
So when does the clock stop?
6/28/25.
Okay.
So I guess they get X number of months after the last
18 months.
revision.
I believe it, right,
Yeah.
18 months?
So that's how they're getting till 25.
Yeah.
And if they don't come back with anything, then it reverts back. If the new developer comes in, they start the process over.
Yeah, that was the one Brandy had done all the.
Yeah, they
tree
put a
layout
lot
and
of
stuff.
work
They
into
had
that.
a lot of
Yeah.
work into
A lot
it.
of
Yeah.
work.
She did, yeah.
And, it's just like everything else, it's a very small lot.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's right there on Fulton Beach Road.
Sensitive
He,
area.
he said he wanted to
Parking,
do it
you
like
know.
like New Orleans style cottages with all the amenities
I
like
mean,
that. which would be
on paper, of course, it looks real nice, but then you've got to consider parking and other amenities and such. The traffic, up and down Fulton Beach Road all the time, trucks and trailers with really not a whole lot of places for, a significant amount of trucks and trailers. If you're the lucky one to get your truck and trailer in before everybody else gets there, you're good. Otherwise, you're parking
get
somewhere
early.
else.
Tricky stuff.
Yes.
It's tight down there.
And back in the day, it is the same owner, right?
Yes. The
Right.
same man owns it.
Starts with a B.
Gary, no, what's his name? Gary? Sweetman. Mr. Sweetman.
That's it, yeah.
So he did the other subdivision further down Fulton Beach Road where the
The palms,
palms were,
7 palms or whatever it's
Yes.
called.
7 palms.
I mean, all of them
Those
are
are
nice.
selling.
It
on
turned out very
Rockport.
nice,
Everything
yes.
looks nice, but again,
It's
You
all
know,
concrete.
it's,
Yeah.
like you said, you have drainage issues, flooding issues, traffic issues, parking
Parking
issues.
issues.
And you really gotta like your neighbor.
Yeah. And then when everybody's here for 4th of July.
Oh,
Yeah,
my word, yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's
those
wherever
are-
you live, that doesn't matter.
those are fun to come to holiday vacation spots.
Yeah.
But that's not a family atmosphere you wanna live in.
No. Okay. Well, thank you for doing that, Carrie. It's
You're welcome.
Good to keep on top of all that.
If y'all think of any other type of reports you want, like we talked about, commercial, just an idea of what businesses are looking at our community and, who's already coming, we'll get those to you. But if you've got any other questions or types of reports you'd like to see, we do do they get the monthly report on the number of inspections and all that? I mean,
No.
if you would like to see that,
We
the
can do
number of
that.
inspections we do
That'd be
on a
interesting.
daily basis and stuff,
Yeah.
we put that together every month for Vanessa and the council, but
Yeah.
just to show you what's going on in the community.
I bet they really are busy, right? I mean, everywhere you turn,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
something.
Very busy right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's good.
And I thought,
You don't realize
you think
what's
it's
going
gonna,
on behind the scenes in
No.
this little community.
in most cases, it slows down in the wintertime, not here,
No, not anymore. Used
Nope.
to,
not anymore.
not anymore.
If anything, it picks up a little more steam.
Definitely tell the difference in the amount of traffic in our community.
And you had the shoulder seasons, spring and fall.
Yep.
There was nobody here.
So
Yeah,
you're getting
I
gloves
remember.
ready for the drainage
Yeah.
down there at the
Oh, yeah.
harbor.
Yeah, knock on wood, we'll see what happens.
That's not wood, but okay.
Yeah,
That's
There you
the
go.
thought.
That's wood.
It's a thought that counts.
yeah, we'll see what happens. You know, the clock is ticking. The council at, the last meeting, in April, they voted to move forward with condemnation unless we reach some sort of agreement for the last meeting in May, which will be May the 28th.
28, I
28.
think.
And there's been some communication, and, you know, I'm not being disrespectful when I say it, but the demands that are, you know, they're asking for. I mean, it's a drainage project. We're draining the same water that's draining from the same basin into the same area.
And slow the velocity down.
Absolutely,
Exactly.
you know, but I
That's the only purpose
truly
for that.
understand their concerns about siltation, you know, and other things. Nobody wants to harm our environment, but nobody wants to flood our homes and businesses either. So, I think there's,
We're not tearing up the park.
you know, it'll go right back. You'll never know that the big pipe is there, the
Nope.
big boxes, you know,
Won't
they're
even
underground,
recognize
you won't see them.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
No, and it's just frustrating, you know, because we went into this and, you know, there's nobody here from the previous administration, you know, that started this project. But we went into it, and I was a part of the process when we reviewed all the plans and everything else to start this. And the outfall is already there. It was approved back, you know, several years ago, with the understanding that eventually we would find the funding to run the drainage boxes all the way to the existing pipe that is through the bulkhead.
And everybody signed off on that, didn't
So
they?
everyone signed off.
That's what I thought.
So, you know, that's where we started, and we just assumed that everybody was on board with it, and we hired a contractor, and the contractor came in, and they went out and they physically stopped the contractor and issued a cease and desist letter to the contractor to get off of the property. And we were, you know, completely taken by surprise. We had no idea that there was any opposition because the punch through the bulkhead was already there. You know, the outfall already existed. It's there. And so, and you know, we're not, nobody likes an argument. Nobody likes to fight, but we've got to do something.
Gotta stand up for our folks, they don't get
We're
flooded.
draining right now, but we're not effectively draining. We're draining probably somewhere between 70 and 80% less than what we would drain if we hooked those boxes up.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, you know, and if we get a
A
significant
14-inch
rain,
rain would kill us.
yeah,
It would hurt.
It would hurt
be
bad.
very painful, you know, and if you look at, you know, some of the things going on downtown with the new courthouse, city hall complex and everything else, you know, and all the concrete associated with that, you look at the businesses that flooded back in 21, in the church, and, you know, Discount Auto, the Bakery Cafe, and, you know, the homes all along there and everything else, you know, we have a way to prevent that. It's on the table, you know, it's there. We just need to get it done.
Yeah, it's hard enough to drain water when your elevation is
Zero.
half a feet, maybe.
Yeah, you know.
Half a-
3 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
This is unfortunately that it got out in the public light, you know, in a negative manner. It'd have been better if, you know, they could have negotiated it in.
Yes. I just don't believe Facebook is the place to
No.
discuss it.
No, and
no.
it's, you know, the sign that was placed there, all right, that we're gonna be dumping untreated stormwater. Okay? Show me where a community is that has treated stormwater.
You can't.
There's not treated stormwater. Now, you can retain and tame stormwater, you can filter it, you know, you can put in, catch basins to catch silt along the way, but what they're asking us to do is to put in a catch basin right there in the harbor. But if we put the catch basin in, it's gonna be 100% full of water 100% of the time. So if we go down there to pump it out, all we're gonna be doing is pumping the harbor.
Back, yeah.
It's just, you know, we're not pumping any silt out of there. it's not gonna settle into the catch basin that they're designing.
Is there such a thing, and I thought I read something about it, as like a trash filter that catches, not silt or sediment, but actual trash going into the thing?
There's grates and stuff that you can put, they fluctuate to where they'll go up if they get real full and everything, but, they'll also slow it down, they're gonna stop it up. We get a big storm and we get branches and debris and everything else, it's gonna stop up and it's gonna slow the drainage.
Well, I can understand the similar wanting to keep, base clean. It's
Absolutely.
people here, but
Yeah.
You still have to have the drainage too.
And the water's gonna go there anyway.
Eventually.
It's gonna go there anyway.
Problems elsewhere if you don't have the drainage.
The water is gonna end up there anyway. It's, that's what Mother Nature intended to do, and so if we get a significant rain, the water is gonna go there anyway. We're channeling it and we're slowing the volume by doing what we're doing.
So what percentage is the sewer treatment plant operating right now?
We're operating at less than half the rated capacity
Still?
of the plant. Yeah,
So
we've
these
got,
developments you're talking about are not gonna,
no, we're,
Hello, nobody moved.
nobody
so
moved.
long.
We're working with our engineers right now, and like I said, we're at less than half of the rated capacity of the plant. We've got plenty of capacity at the plant. The issue is getting the waste to the plant.
Getting it
The further
there.
south we go and everything else,
lift
we're
stations?
playing hopscotch with lift stations and pumps and things like that to get it there. And, we have capacity that will service the community based on the projected growth, probably for the next 25 to 30 years. Once we get to just at 50% of the rated capacity of the plant, we've got to start planning for looking at another area to develop a wastewater
I
treatment
think it's
facility.
75%.
And then at 75%, you have to have a construction plan in place.
Yep.
So we're working with the engineers, same thing on our water. We're working with San Patricio Municipal Water District to ensure that we'll have water for the future. Right now, we're serviced by one 24-inch main that comes from Ingleside down the bypass and hits Rockport and goes to our 2 pump stations, our 2 elevated storage tanks, and our 4 ground storage tanks with pumps. And that's our water system. As we continue to develop and everything else, we're gonna have to look at the possibility of a parallel 24-inch line coming from Ingleside to Rockport to give us water for the future. And so we're
Yeah, whoever
participating.
designed
Yeah.
that wastewater treatment plant really thought ahead.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of capacity.
And we're doing, right now, we just
The
started a
water.
$4.5 million upgrade at the wastewater treatment plant. Everything out there is between 35 and 40 years old, and you can imagine the corrosive atmosphere that is out there. So everything that is metal is corroded. All the concrete is beginning to spall and chip away and things like that. So we're replacing each component of the wastewater treatment plant as we go through this process. We're replacing one clarifier while one clarifier is down. When the new one comes on, we take the other one apart and rebuild it and everything else. And so there's redundancy out there for just about every process. We did an upgrade about 3 years ago. We spent about $2.5 million where we call it the headworks, where the waste comes into the plant itself. And we upgraded that area and made it more efficient, and it works better. And so that will be looked at as we go through this process. They're gonna end up with a new office building out there. If you've ever been out there, their office building is corroded and falling apart around them and everything. So
Yeah.
very much looking forward to getting them upgraded and in good shape out there.
I don't think most people realize how corrosive it is.
Oh,
that-
it's
The
amazing.
chemicals in the,
It makes
And the stuff
Key
in
Allegro look pristine as
Yeah.
far as
Yeah.
corrosion.
Yeah.
I mean, it is
And,
bad.
just the caustic, just the salt air combined with all the caustic chemicals and everything else and the process that goes on out there.
Yep.
What does a new treatment facility cost?
Oh, my goodness,
Oh.
you're talking several millions of dollars,
I'm just comparing how
Well,
much we spend and, the
Yeah,
investment is there.
I don't even think I could put a price tag on it, but I would venture to guess it might be in the hundreds of millions of dollars.
I would imagine.
Easily.
Yeah, and with all the new regulatory compliance issues and everything else,
Yep.
I won't be here, but I wonder if they'll even give us a permit, a discharge permit. And I know there's new technologies out there and everything else for treatment of waste and things like that, but again, the price tag goes up.
Yeah.
You know, and we're, like I said, with the water, we're in regional communication, if you will, with everybody in the coastal bend area, with Corpus Christi and Sampat Water, and then all the other little municipalities that get their water from Sampat and from Corpus. So, you know, we're looking at regional water, but we need to look at the potential for regional wastewater, maybe partnering with Ingleside or Aransas Pass to determine if we built a regional plant and everybody participated in it, you know, of course, shared the cost and everything. And then, you know, I guess maybe we would assign the operation to one community, one city would operate the plant, and the others would pitch in for the upkeep and the maintenance and everything else. But again, that's all just talk right now. But that's gonna be way after Mike's gone.
That'd be an interesting engineer project. I'd
Yeah.
like to see that.
Well, as the community grows, water is the hardest resource.
Water
Corpus is
is-
learning that right
yes.
now.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as power is easy, all that's easy, but getting enough water is hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
But, you know, we're trying to look out for the future of our small little community, you know, and you've heard me say it, and I'm sure you've heard 100,000 other people say, you know, if we could just shut the gates and stop, it'd be
Yeah,
good, but
I've been
that's
told.
just not gonna happen, you
I've been
know?
told we need to take that George Strait message off that phone. Quit telling people to come
Telling
here.
people to come here.
Get off there.
Yeah.
I go anywhere but Rockport,
Yes,
Florida.
yeah.
I think it'd be a little late to shut the gates at this point. I think that
It's too late.
genie's out of the bottle,
Yes.
and you can't cork that back. So, best we can do is manage it at this point.
I was born here. I've lived here my entire life. Other than a few months that I tried someplace else, didn't last long. But yeah, it has grown. I mean, there were dirt roads. We rode our horse to school. That sounds awful, but we did. Rode our bikes to school. It's amazing, the growth. But I still have that Rockport feel. You know, so far, we haven't destroyed that. I still have that hometown feel. And that's what we're trying to maintain. Regardless of how many subdivisions come in, regardless of how much commercial comes in, you gotta maintain that Rockport home feel. So that's my objective, to keep
And I
that.
think it does, you know,
hometown.
my family's been here forever, you know, I
Yep.
grew up here, always was a little fishing village, and still kinda has that feel to it.
Yeah.
It's just a bigger one now.
Just a bigger one, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember going to high school and leaving our guns in the gun rack in the pickup.
Oh, in the pickup, we had them in the pickup truck. We went outside and had a smoke break with the teachers. I mean, you just did. You weren't allowed to smoke in the restroom. And they quit letting us smoke in the classroom. But we would go outside and teachers would come, we'd have a smoke break.
I remember that in my high school.
Yeah.
It wasn't here, but, yeah. Actually, teachers had a smoking place and students had a smoking place.
We weren't big enough for that.
Well, one was on one corner of the building.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it is definitely growing. The high school upgrades are coming along nicely. I don't know if y'all saw the plans for that. I should do that one. That'll be part
Yeah,
of the
that'd be
commercial.
fun, yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
Wow.
I'm so excited for those
Be
students.
nice.
Yes.
Like when they built the Martha Luigi Auditorium
Yeah, that was amazing at the
for
time,
the,
right?
for
Yeah.
the graduating class of that year.
Yes.
And no more, like, that was gonna, there weren't ever gonna be more kids at high school than that.
Yeah. Ha-ha.
Yeah. Well, very good. Thank you for that, Carrie. We appreciate
welcome.
that very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll go back to, item number 5, which has adjournment on it.
Yes, it got lost in the translation somehow.
Since we don't have it at the bottom, we'll back up. If anyone would like to make a motion to adjourn. Oh, we got a motion to adjourn. We got a second. All in favor? Aye. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you. I saw.